and a teacher, so you play double duties in the
Yes.
ABC school district, right?
Yes, my name is Christy Gravitt. I am a 25-year veteran teacher at ABC Unified School District, and I am also a parent of a 5th grader at my school at Kennedy STEM Academy.
Okay, and just a couple of days ago, right, there was an incident, and there was a follow-up one today. So let's break it down from the beginning, where your child was identified as being exposed to COVID, but not that you can verify that your child did not have COVID, but he was basically treated very poorly just because he got exposed. Is that correct?
Correct. Yesterday, on Monday, my child was pulled out of class with several others, and they were all told that they were a close contact to someone who had tested positive in their classroom. So they were all pulled out and sat on a planter box at our school while they contacted the parents, and then they identified which children were vaccinated and which children were not. So the vaccinated children were allowed to return to their classrooms, knowing that they could be positive or carrying the virus. And the vaccinated students were told they had to leave campus and they had to stay home for 5 days.
Unvaccinated, you mean, right?
I'm sorry, correction. Yes, I apologize. The unvaccinated students were told they had to leave campus and could not come back for 5 days until they showed a negative COVID test. So they had to quarantine for 5 days. So my husband decided that this is not okay, and I 100% agree. He refused to pick her up. They put her in a small isolated room in the office by herself with no teacher to teach, no instruction, and she actually didn't even get lunch.
Wow.
And actually the principal did offer her lunch, but then somehow it never got to her. But so my husband went ahead and decided that he wasn't going to leave her in that little isolation room by herself. So he took her home. We contacted some news medias, agencies. We also contacted a few like Moms on the Ground. So Moms on the Ground connected us with Ryan Heath, who is the president of the Gavel Project. So he contacted me at 6 this morning, and we already told him that we were planning on sending our child to school. It is against the law. They cannot keep her out of school like this, not to mention this is discrimination because she's unvaccinated. So my daughter went to school today with my husband. She walked on campus. She walked over to her classroom, and she was met by the principal and 3 district administrators.
Wow.
My daughter refused to leave. They told her she had to leave. She said, "I'm not leaving. You cannot deny me my rights." This is my 11-year-old speaking so boldly and, of course, respectfully to them, but she knows her rights. And then they went ahead and escorted her to the office, put her back in the isolation room. The 3 district administrators that were there went outside on the campus to talk to my husband, and he videoed the entire conversation. They said he's not allowed to video, that it's against the law. They told him she has to leave. He said she's not leaving several times. You can't deny her her rights, discrimination. He told them all of the things that he knew to be true about his rights and her rights, I should say. One of the district administrators, Christina Weiss, called the sheriffs, and it's on recording. Although everything's on recording, she told the police officer there is a hostile parent at the school. So the police came, and by then our attorney was on the phone, asked to be on speakerphone with my husband, and they went and talked to the administrators. The police talked to them first. Then they came to talk to my husband with the 1 district administrator, Melinda Ortiz, who's the director of schools for ABC Unified. And she heard that there was an attorney on the line, and she said, "I am not talking to an attorney, no way." So the attorney said, "Well, basically I'm here. Let's have a conversation. She said, Emma cannot come to school tomorrow, so you cannot bring her. And the attorney told her that she will be coming to school every day. And every day that you refuse her to come on campus and learn, it will be a $25,000 fine. So then the district administrator started to get very belligerent, very hostile herself, and did not like the way the conversation was going. The attorney told her all of the codes, the laws, everything that she is breaking, all the laws of refusal, denying my child her educational rights and discrimination. Oops, so sorry. I don't know what happened there. There we go. And then my husband, because she was getting so upset, the director of the schools was getting so upset, not being very professional, my husband said, wait a second, who's getting hostile? And then she threw her arms up and just got even more upset. And that was that part. And then my husband went back to see about my daughter. And so my daughter had her cell phone with her, and she was in the isolated room. And afterwards, she told us that the police officer and the principal went in with her. The principal was very nice and appropriate with my daughter, but the police officer actually, the principal just mentioned to my daughter, you can't be filming, make sure you're not videoing anything. Emma said, I'm not. And the police officer said, well, you need to give me your phone. I want to make sure that you did not videotape anything and make sure that you delete it. So then he invaded her privacy and took her phone to make sure she had not videoed anything like she had told the officer, and she hadn't videoed anything. So we are going back to school tomorrow. I should say my husband will be taking my daughter back to school tomorrow. And there's also another young man named Jaylani, and his family will be going tomorrow as well. They were another one that is he is unvaccinated and was also told he must quarantine. This is his second time in 2 weeks. He just got back to school last Friday after having to quarantine for 5 days. Then he was exposed again on Friday, and yesterday he was told now he has to be out another 5 days. So 10 days of not getting his educational needs met or being taught by a teacher. So they're coming tomorrow, and he's going to do the same thing. He's going to plan on going to the classroom and let them know that you can't deny our rights.
And this, despite the fact that you gave your daughter a test and she came out negative, right? So you actually went to school today with a negative test.
Yesterday and this morning, we tested her with the rapid test provided by the school, and she was negative. And it would be as simple as, if you want to do this, why don't you let anyone test in the morning before they come to school, like in the office? You can even do it in the office if it's still discrimination. And really, even testing is compliance. We shouldn't even, there should be no testing. It's against the law. They can't even make us test. Yet so many people are complying.
And I must remind people that are watching the bravery of Christy here. Christy, you are an employee of the district. And by speaking out like this, and we had talked before this, this is very brave of you. So, but I think you feel so strongly about this, and tell us kind of why. And I know this is very emotional for you right now, but and I can understand your daughter is being treated like a leper for no reason at all.
Yes. Yeah, and it's really a shame. But I'm not afraid of retaliation. They would be very hard pressed to try and do anything to me with my job that will just cause them more legal harm. I'm a good employee. I've never had a complaint filed against me in 25 years from a parent, a teacher, anyone. I'm a well-loved teacher. I love what I do, but enough is enough. We have to stand up. More people need to stand up. We need to stop. We need to start saying no. The district will say, oh, we're just following protocols of the LA Department of Health. Well, the LA Department of Health is breaking the law. So by them following their protocols, they are breaking the law, all of them. And more people need to stand up and refuse this and do what I'm doing. Teach your children to speak up, all of them. We must use our voices to speak up and say, we are not going to do this anymore.
And let them trample all over our rights and our kids' education. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, and dividing us and dividing the children and teaching them to be afraid of each other. I mean, this is really, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And so thank you so much. You know, from a bigger perspective, you have basically complied for the last probably year and a half with some of these protocols. As you said, you've been a good employee. What, besides it directly affecting you, what were some key breaking points for you along this journey?
Well, I can tell you that they absolutely made the children suffer by putting up plexiglass on their desks. It was terrible. Kids couldn't see the board. We couldn't see the students. People complained and no one listened. The district just said, no, 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 you have to have plexiglass. Parents didn't like it. Children didn't like it. And finally they took them down, and it was like this freedom. Whether you were a vaccinated teacher or an unvaccinated teacher, everyone was so grateful for the plexiglass to go. The kids were suffering. And doctors and scientists were saying that, even our own district was saying that the plexiglass was actually inhibiting the airflow of the HEPA filters we have in the class. So it wasn't healthy for us, yet they were keeping them on the students' desks. And the other thing is, it's just divided so many people. It's divided staffs, friendships, families, but at work, I'm very lucky that I do work in an environment where everyone is pretty supportive, but still it's caused a little bit of tension here and there because it's become so political, and this shouldn't be a political thing. Not to mention, I mean, this isn't a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. A vaccine prevents the disease. This is not a vaccine when you can still get the disease.
And let me clarify, Christy, you do not work in the same school that your daughter goes to.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do. So you're a teacher in the same school.
I am a teacher at the same school that my daughter goes to, on the same campus. So it does put me in a little bit of a precarious situation, but I'm not going to stay quiet anymore.
Have you seen your colleagues that were, basically acting like this to your daughter, act like this before?
Well, I have to tell you, the colleagues at my school did not mistreat my daughter. My principal has been very professional and kind. She has to follow the protocols of the district. It is the district that is not handling this. So truly, it is not my principal or anyone on my campus. It is the district. They are the ones complying. And every time you send an email to the district, anyone, same thing comes back every time. A standard form letter of, we're following the LA County Department of Health and their protocols. And they're the ones that came to campus today. They're the ones that told my daughter she had to leave. They're the ones that called the police on my husband. It was the district officials, Scott Smith, Christina Weiss, and Director of Schools, Melinda Ortiz.
So these people, are they appointed or are they elected? How did these people get in power, Christy?
I believe they are appointed.
Okay. By someone who is probably elected, I'm guessing?
They are administrators in our district.
Okay.
So they are hired for that position. So.
to basically act like COVID watchdogs at this point, and that is their job, and they're going around and basically doing these standoffs with parents and their children.
Yeah, they're basically denying children every single day. Principals are being forced to send children home that are not vaccinated because of close contact to someone who tested positive. Healthy children are being sent home strictly because they are unvaccinated, and the vaccinated children get to stay. And honestly, the principals, I believe all of their hands are tied because they have to follow what they are told coming from the district office. And the district office will continue to say, we have to follow the protocols of the LA County Department of Health, which again, they are breaking the law.
And let's remind everyone, both your daughter and the son of your I guess her colleague are both testing negative for COVID and yet being barred from going to school.
Correct.
Okay. And did you get any media there today?
We did not. It was kind of a late hour last night when I was reaching out to different people. So by the time I got home and my husband started making some phone calls and emails, it just happened a little bit late. So we were grateful that through Moms on the Ground and their support, we were able to find two separate attorneys that are interested in helping with this matter.
Well, thank you, Christy. Anything else you want to let me know? Because I'm going to work on this write-up tonight and get this out to the media as soon as possible. But keep me posted because I'm sure there will be developments.
Yes, tomorrow she will be back at school and we will video again if they try to deny her entrance to her classroom.
Great. And please send me any pictures or short videos if you can.
Okay, I'll have my husband do that. Thank you so much.
Okay, Christy, thank you for your time.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.